Ben Shelton has improved his backhand massively over the course of the last couple of years on the ATP Tour. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what makes Ben's backhand so effective, why it's become more consistent, and how it handles the real brutality of modern tennis, because you cannot have a weak backhand side at the top of the men's game. Otherwise, you become way too exposed. Even if you have a huge serve and a big forehand, it's a must to have a very reliable, consistent two-handed backhand right at the top of the game. So in today's video, I'm going to break down exactly what he's doing, and if you can implement any of these things into your own game. So let's get into the video. Alright, so he's got a great wide base at the beginning, so he's got a really good strong foundation with the setup. You can see he's got that racket head under his shoulders, so it's he's got the hands around his belly button height. He's in a really good ready position with the tip of the racket slightly pointed up. He's got that continental grip on with the bottom hand, and then he's in that semi-western right-handed forehand grip on the top grip. Gives him really good access to plow through and spin. So then the first thing we're going to have a look at here is his unit turn, right? So as that ball's coming in, he's going to turn his body side on nice and early there, okay? So before the ball lands on his side of the court, he's really turning the shoulders, and he's not doing much with his arms at the beginning, okay? The arms just stay quite low, and they're not going to rush to swing out to the side. We see that at the club level way too often, is players try and do too much with their arms early on with the swing. So it's really key just to keep the hands below your belly button height. So if I draw that green line through his shoulders, you can see that he keeps the tip of the racket under that green line as the ball's coming in. And what you can think about just pointing the tip of the racket out to the side without taking it up too vertically at the beginning of the swing. And what you really want to focus on is just that unit turn and coiling the body, storing the energy through the core. And that's why you want to do a lot of those heavy medicine ball throws to just build that core strength on the rotation, right? That's a real key. So then we can see that the strings are facing forward, all right? He's almost lining up the ball and the strings at the same time. So here's the ball, if I just point the line to the strings of the ball, you can see he's just lined up the spacing really nicely. And it's like a gauge to where he needs to be, all right? So then you can see as that ball starts to bounce up, he gets that take back going a little bit more. And what he's going to do is he's really going to stretch that that right arm back. Okay, so he's going to stretch the right arm back, and he's loading through the shoulder muscle here. So he's pre-stretching those muscles here, and the right arm, the top hand, the left arm is going to be a little bit more bent with the right hand, okay? So he's stretching that left arm back, and then the right arm on top is a little bit more bent and relaxed, okay? And he gets the strings slightly, the tip of the racket slightly going that way, with the strings at a slight tilted angle towards the ground, okay? And that's gonna make sure he doesn't open the racket face when he comes through to contact, all right? So the next thing he's gonna do here is he's gonna use that top hand to start the racket drop. And as he steps forward, we can see that the racket's going to lag back behind him. We can now see the butt cap of the racket is pointed forward towards the ball, and behind his body, the tip of the racket would almost be pointing down to the ground or at the back fence a little bit slightly. All right, and what that's doing is that's the racket lag phase of the swing, okay? And that's where all that energy in the core is going to be released through the wrist, okay? And that's going to allow him to create that racket head speed out to contact, all right? So here's his contact point. He keeps that ball really central on the string, so he's really precise with where he's hitting the ball. and we can see that there's a slight bend with the left arm at contact, and there's a slight bend with the right arm at contact also. Okay, so this is a great position to be in. Some players like to extend the arms a little bit more. Ben comes through with both the elbows slightly bent, and it seems to work for him to be able to get that top spin. All right, and then you can see how he's going to really extend through the ball there. All right, and what tells me he's extending through the ball is the tip of the racket pointing up and forwards. All right, a lot of those coaches, they like to say, can you hit through 3 balls? I've seen that one before. A lot of coaches say it, and by imagining keeping your contact zone extending longer through 3 balls, you're really going to hit a more penetrating ball through the court. All right, so now you can have a look at that follow through. So you can see that his elbow his elbow is going to finish quite high there, and then this arm's up, and then I'm just going to have a look at the finish. So I actually think he could improve his backhand a little bit more by getting this arm more in that 90-degree position. All right, because when I look at Alcaraz and Sinner and I look at their backhands, I see them hit that position a little bit more. So I actually think, and he only just goes over the shoulder as well. Ideally, what I would like to see, I would like the racket to be out here. If I was teaching Ben, I would probably show him a video of the Alcaraz backhand and just show him where Alcaraz actually follows through. I think he thinks he's doing a full follow through, but he's actually got a lot more room to rotate his shoulders and get the racket coming round the outside of his right shoulder a little bit more. So I was actually surprised when I was watching that. And the other reason I can see that is because look where he finishes with the butt cap of the racket. It's pointing forward, right? If you watch Alcaraz or you watch Sinner, you'll see that the butt cap on the finish, it will be pointing out this way. All right, so that tells me alone that he's got an extra room for 5 or 10% more power on his backhand, which is pretty crazy, because he's going to be able to extend through the ball and just really rotate through it a lot more. All right, more like a baseball swing through the end of the follow through. At the moment, he's holding back. So if I was Ben, I'd be showing him this and definitely experimenting with that on one of his practice sessions. I think he definitely needs to have a look at that. So that one, he did it. So that one, he actually came through a little bit more, and the butt of the racket is more out to the side. So he needs to be more disciplined in finishing with that racket more in that position a little bit more. I think he needs to be a bit more aware of that follow through. So that's Ben Shelton's backhand. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give me a like and subscribe. If you want your own game analyzed like this, check the link in the description, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again, Jack.